Airport lounges are great. You get free food, somewhere nice to relax, and most of them have free alcohol or cocktails for you to drink. But most of the time, that experience only lasts 3 hours. But what if I told you that experience could last for days? And that's exactly what a hotel lounge offers you. That's right, hotel lounges are basically airport lounges that extend during your duration of your stay at that hotel. They offer you free food, they offer you free drinks. During the majority of the day, they have free snacks for you to use, they have conference rooms, they have places for you to sit, do your work. They have really fast Wi-Fi at the lounges, some of them have outdoor areas, some of them are located on rooftops. It's a really amazing experience after you experience the first one. However, where are my manners? Because I haven't even told you where they're located. Are they only located at the most luxurious hotels, you know, the Ritz Carltons, the Waldorf Astorias? And that's not necessarily the case. So the major hotel chains, Marriott, Hilton, IHG, and Hyatt, a lot of their brands of hotels do have lounges in them, with Marriott and Hilton having a good share of lounges in a lot of their hotels, with Hyatt kind of lacking in their lounge network, which is kind of disappointing. But like I said, you don't have to stay at a hotel that is like super upscale to have a lounge at that hotel. There are some hotels like in the Hilton brand, the DoubleTree hotels, some of them have lounges. The Holiday Inns, some of them also have lounges. And I'll try to put as much information in the description about where all these lounges are located. Most of the time, if you just go on to the direct website, you know, the Hilton website, you can just filter by whichever city you're visiting, which hotels have club access. Even though it's important to know where the hotel lounges are located, I believe there's one more important question that needs to be answered. How do you even get access into a hotel lounge? Can anyone walking on the street access a hotel lounge? And unfortunately, the answer to that question is no. You do have to book a hotel stay to access a hotel lounge, unfortunately. So you are staying at a hotel with a lounge. How can you gain access into that lounge? And I think one of the most popular ways is just to earn status. If you want to gain access into a Marriott lounge completely for free just using status, you have to at least be a platinum member, a titanium member, or ambassador elite. So those other two statuses, titanium and ambassador elite, you do have to earn. However, if you apply for the Marriott Brilliant card, you automatically get platinum status completely for free. For Hilton, you have to be a diamond member to gain access to the Hilton club lounges completely off status alone. And diamond status can be easily obtained by just applying for the Hilton Aspire card. However, you can be a Hilton Gold member, but it's a little bit complicated. You can't just go in expecting club lounge access for being a Hilton Gold member. However, with the Hilton Gold, you can be upgraded to different types of rooms, right? If you are upgraded to the executive rooms, you will have club access most of the time, if not all the time. And with Hyatt, you have to be a Hyatt Globalist to gain access into the Hyatt lounges. Now, you may have noticed I didn't mention IHG because IHG is pretty special. No matter which status you have, you won't automatically gain access into a lounge. The only kind of way to get into an IHG lounge with a status is if you buy their membership. So you buy the IHG Royal Ambassador membership, which I believe costs around 40,000 IHG points or $200, you will get access into the Intercontinental lounges with that membership alone, which could be worth it, especially if you're staying at a lot of Intercontinental lounges. However, even then, even with all these methods, you still won't have access to every single hotel lounge. Like for example, the Ritz Carlton. Even with Marriott status alone, you can't access a Ritz Carlton lounge. Instead, there are two things you can do. You can have the Ritz Carlton credit card, which is officially discontinued, but there is a way to get it. And with that credit card, I believe it's 3 times. You can call in and ask them to make a reservation into the Ritz Carlton and ask them to add the club lounge access. The other way, which will work for all of these brands, IHG, Marriott, Hilton, and Hyatt, is when you're booking the room, they'll have 2 options. They'll have a standard room, and then the second option is you can book the club lounge access room. And usually, if not all the time, these rooms are going to be way more expensive than just booking the standard rate. Sometimes though, it's not bad. Sometimes it's only a $25 upcharge, but sometimes it can get really pricey to like $300, where it may not be worth it, especially if you're booking a room that's $500. That's half the cost of the room to just get club lounge access. A little bit strange. However, that may be your only option to get into a Ritz Carlton lounge. But let's say that you don't have access to any of those methods, or you're not willing to do some of them. Are there any other ways to get access into a hotel lounge? And technically, yes, we're starting to get a little bit limited in our options, so hopefully you would choose one. So I know, and specifically this is is what I did. For IHG and Hyatt, when you're staying a bunch of nights, they have reward milestones. So if you're staying like, for example, 20 nights, they'll have an option for you to gain a club lounge certificate for you to use for a future booking. And usually these certificates only last 1 year. And some of these can be quite restrictive. For example, for the Hyatt Club Lounge Access certificate, it's only good for a booking that's a 7-day length of time. So if you stay at that property for more than a week, you may not have lounge access after the 7th day. However, you can book 2 reservations, so you can book 1 week at a time to use their certificate, and you will have club lounge access during that entire stay. And that's exactly what I did with my Hyatt booking. I had club lounge access certificates, and I booked the Grand Hyatt in Nashville. I messaged the Hyatt concierge to add the certificate onto my booking, and I got club lounge access. The second to last option to gain access into a lounge is booking through a travel agent, actually, which honestly has been kind of my preferred way to book some of these high-end hotels. Like, for example, through the MasterCard Luxury Hotel program or the American Express Fine Hotels and Resort, or through Virtuoso. So some of these travel agencies, they'll book the hotel for you, but on top of that, they're able to offer you a lot more benefits like the $100 credit, free breakfast, VIP status, and a room upgrade if it's available. But on top of that, there's some bookings that will include club lounge access, so keep an eye on that. But of course, here's the final method, and it's pretty representative of our great capitalist society, which has been adopted by many mobile games, is just to pay to play. So this is what I did with my IHG Intercontinental booking in Atlanta, Georgia. I booked it through one of those travel programs, the Visa Luxury Hotel Collection, and with that booking, I had a $100 credit to use. When I went to the Intercontinental to check in, I asked them, hey, can I get club lounge access and how much would that cost? They quoted me it would cost $75. I thought it was all right, and it was covered under the $100 hotel credit. So technically, I didn't really have to pay for it out of pocket. So that's definitely an option. However, don't rely on this method all the time, especially as Hyatt. There are some hotels that won't even let you pay to gain access into one of the lounges. Plus, also paying during check-in can be a lot more expensive than just paying for it while you're doing your booking. But now that you know all the ins and outs of a hotel lounge, what was it actually like staying at one? When checking into the Grand Hyatt in Nashville, the room wasn't ready yet. However, since I had club lounge access attached to my booking, they were able to give me a pass to get me into the club lounge. So the room isn't ready yet, but they were still able to give us into the lounge access a little bit early before our check-in. They gave us the highest floor. They're just waiting to get that all set up. Yeah, it's pretty cool that they let you into the lounge even before you check into your room, which was pretty awesome. It was a quiet space. They had nice seating. They had a bunch of snacks. They had all the drinks sitting out for you to just grab. They literally have a toilet in the lounge, so you don't even have to leave the lounge if you don't want to. But since it was pretty quiet in that lounge, I'll just have the lounge employees explain it to you. So I'm with my buddy Hamath, and he's working at the Hyatt Grand Hyatt Lounge, and I see you like carrying around plates and everything. What do you kind of do for the Hyatt Lounge?
Currently, it's called a Grand Club. First of all, it's for the VIP people. We have the breakfast and dinner complimentary here, and also the next thing is the bar, the happy hours will be happening. It's also complimentary for the people who comes here.
Right.
And also the next thing is my daily routine in this place is I'll just come at 6 a.m. here and I'll set up the food setup. I'll go to the kitchen, I'll set up every food, and I'll get the coffee, and I'll make sure everything is ready for the guests.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy when I first came in. You were just standing there and you're like, oh, welcome, sir. I'm like, oh, I don't know.
The most important part is we need to welcome the guests. The way we welcome the guests represent our hotel. Yeah, you really did a really good job with that. I mean, I was just sitting around just eating, and you just kept coming to me and you said, do you need anything? Everyone doesn't feel so comfortable to ask something.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
We will create that comfort to the guests, and we'll go to the guests and we'll talk to them. We'll make them comfortable. We'll let them ask whatever they want, and we'll go and ask them. If you need anything, just let us know. We'll help you with that.
Well, thanks so much for speaking with me. Now, I will warn you, don't expect this kind of service at every single hotel lounge. I stayed at the Intercontinental in Atlanta, Georgia, and let me tell you, it was kind of sad compared to the Grand Hyatt in Nashville. But here's the more important question. How was the dinner and the breakfast? Because I think that's going to be the majority of the money that you're trying to gain back from paying to get into these lounges or just having status. So I'm in the lounge for a couple hours now. They just just recently served dinner. This is what I had on my plate. Pretty good options. Now, compared to a airport lounge, it doesn't have as good of food as the Centurion Lounge, maybe the Delta Sky Club, but even then, it's a little bit of a stretch. I kind of feel like a lot of the stuff is kind of microwaved. Now, they do have some charcuterie stuff, and it does seem like they use local sourced ingredients, so that's pretty interesting. But overall, for a hotel lounge, it's actually not that bad. So for the desserts, it's actually really pretty. And then you got the cannolis. Pretty cool. So this is fresh made sangria from the wine bar, and I was like, oh, I don't really know what I should get as an alcoholic drink. And they were like, oh, why not try the fresh made sangria made from the bartender? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm totally down for this. So that's pretty good. It's like not super alcoholic, but sweet at the same time. I think I'm kind of into this. As for breakfast, a really similar experience. I felt like it was actually a little bit better. I don't know why, but I feel like both places, IHG and Hyatt, they just made breakfast better than their dinner. But it was still the appetizers. There wasn't really a main entree. But of course, since it's unlimited, you could just continuously pile on your plate. But overall, what are my thoughts on hotel lounges? And I think they're great. I think hotel lounges are better than airport lounges in every single way except the food options, which, you know, isn't too terrible. It's still comparable. If airport lounge food is a 10, I would say hotel lounge food is maybe an 8, maybe a 7. And it's just nice throughout your stay that you know you can go to the lounge. If you wanted more water, you don't have to pay for it. If you wanted more soda, you also don't have to pay for that. You want more snacks throughout the day, that's completely fine. I would say the one issue with hotel lounge is that I feel like just because I know I have the access and I feel like I need to get my money's worth, I definitely didn't have the local cuisine in the area because I felt like that since I had hotel lounge access, I needed to maximize that benefit. And that basically meant that I didn't leave the hotel. But yeah, that's my thoughts on a hotel lounge. Definitely worth checking out, and I'll see you later. Oh, and also this fridge full of drinks, you can just take as much as you want. Like you can take bags worth of drinks. I know I'm pretty scummy for doing this, but they were all drunk. I didn't waste any of them.